Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my analysis of 10 minutes of Resident Evil 2 Remake gameplay. Technically, I believe this is new gameplay. It might not be new to you, so I apologise if you've clicked on it expecting something completely different, but it's new to me and perhaps other people out there. This video also has some developers and some PR people talking on it, so I'm going to have to not have the volume, which sucks because I love listening to the games and I know you probably do too, but instead you're just going to have me rambling and perhaps a little theme in the background that's pertinent to the game. So the first things we're seeing here is Claire's going into her inventory. She's currently holding what looks like a grenade launcher, some kind of MAC-10, and a strange snub-nosed revolver-looking weapon. I don't know if she's making bullets or messing with herbs right now, but she has a few slots up there, as you can see. The inventory is one of the more interesting aspects of this game, I think, because in the traditional Resident Evils, the inventory was completely segmented from the main game. You went into a very deliberate menu, and everything you did in that menu was isolated to the menu, and then you went back to the game. Whereas in this one, as you saw just then, you have more dynamic menus, courtesy of more modern game design. And the game seemingly pauses with the screen on, fully viewable while you're in those menus, which is another quite empowering position too, which a lot of the classic Resident Evil games just didn't really give you. You know, it took until Resident Evil 5 and 4 in some ways to give us that kind of an inventory, and then of course Resident Evil 6 kept it as a completely active inventory and things like that, undoubtedly inspired by games such as Dead Space that pulled it off probably the best, because it really suited the game, and the idea of not being safe in the menus was something that Resident Evil had always had. Regardless of what's happening, when you pause that menu and you look at those herbs and those bullets, nothing's hurting you. And then in Dead Space, of course, you got fucked up. But Claire's moving down into a basement, a subterranean area in this building. She's doing some looting. It's nice to see that the items pop out so ridiculously thanks to another modern gaming conceit, which is the evolution of HUD design. In the old school Resident Evils, you had to look for something that wasn't pre-rendered, didn't you? It was all those pre-rendered backgrounds, and then you'd see something that was obviously done with inferior technology, and that's what made things pop. But a lot of the times it could be really hard to see that stuff, so it conditioned in the player this ability to walk around and mash the buttons and pick things up, and you'd pick things up you didn't even know existed. So it kind of took the spirit of the Broken Sword games, where you clicked on absolutely everything like a maniac, and it threw it into these pre-designed areas, and all these pre-generated locations, and then you just tried to find the pixel that you needed. Whereas now, it looks like deliberately you're going to see things pop up at your feet to tell you can pick things up. It's going to make things a lot easier to spot, and hopefully the challenges of the game now will be more about the puzzles and the environments and the areas that are presented to you, and not about silly things like not realising you could examine a bookcase and find a key. However, there's going to be a lot of people that like that traditional way, because one of the things you'll notice about games when they age is that there are people who are still proponents for those old mechanics and will defend them, and then there are people who will fervently argue that it's a very good reason that things have changed. And Resident Evil is ripe for these kind of comparisons just because of how it always worked. Tank controls, limited inventory space, a menu pause for all your ammunition to do things like reloading and the such. Those doors, when you walk up to an entrance, instead of just opening a door and being able to use the door as a portal for manipulation, it goes into a canned animation of a door opening, and it's a loading screen, and all those kind of archetypes of the Resident Evil formula, which these remakes seem to be completely assuading and removing, right? I wonder if there's an option to put that stuff in. There's somebody behind you, love, and he's real mean looking. But yeah, there he is. Here is I believe he goes on to be the final boss, Mr. Birkin, when he transforms into the whatever the hell that is at the end of the game. But these are the various encounters with him, and for some reason he's handily brought along a pipe for our disagreeing moment right now, but we have a grenade launcher, a pistol, and an Uzi, so she moves away, moving through this smoky and industrial looking... What would you think that this is? Some kind of power room? Some kind of... I don't even know, is this where the plumbing, the irrigation goes? She comes over here and picks up a red herb, I believe. She's going to combine it with the green herb to make something that I don't even think any reliable cocaine addiction would snort, but hopefully it will heal you to full HP. And then, wow, what a reticle that is. Interesting. So she Terminator 2s Mr. Birkin and then walks around the flames, and then he's on fire and doing his own thing, and this all looks very pretty. Here's another dead end, here's another herb. It's interesting that the herbs have changed how they pretty much look like, and I'm assuming they now look more like what herbs actually look like, because back in the day, I don't even think I really realised what herbs even bloody were. Because you can't be getting full heals from some sage and a bit of rosemary. Oh wow, she's getting fucked up, what's going on? But it seemed like she was holding her ribs just then, and maybe having some movement affected, which, this is one of the universal tells in Resident Evil that you're injured. Which, that's another thing I'm interested to see how that works. Will it still have the green for fine, you know, orange for caution, oh sorry, yellowy orange or whatever it is for caution, and then red for danger? Will it still feature that kind of HP threshold? Because it looks like it will when you pause. Oh, she's put on the Mach 10. Look at these reticles, man. Have they been playing fucking Spec Ops The Line? Come on, Capcom. I hope these are just placeholder, because if they're not, I don't know, dude. Really interesting so far. There's the full heal. I couldn't tell if it wasn't on fine just then, because I didn't pay attention quick enough, but you guys probably spotted it. She pulls out the revolver, backs into the corner. There's plenty of room here, isn't there, to manipulate the boss. As long as you can find an area where it's easy to bait him and shoot him and not get trapped, there's no reason to have problems here. Because as long as you don't put yourself in a corner, you never have to run past him and use the interesting mobility to your advantage. But I don't really recognise this room. Is this the room from the original Birkin fight at this point in the game? Is this 100%, you know, tailored to what you've already done? It just looks beautiful and it's a different camera angle, obviously. Because I just wouldn't know. But it seems like there's a lot more steam now. Some of these machines seem to be kicking up and making it a bit difficult to see. Hilarious as that is, if you have audio on right now, can't you just hear him dragging his ass around the room and making disgusting squelching noises? Oh, judging by that, it seems like he was programmed to drop from the roof on you, so maybe it didn't matter. But if you've played Resident Evil 4, you will have dealt with that stupid dude, who was Salazar's buddy, who kept on trying to ambush you with the QuickTime event, so this should be nothing new. There he is. Puts her back in the corner. That was really weird just then. Did you see the reticle completely center and look like a perfect aim, and then it didn't? I wonder what that was. This guy seems like he's having a good time though, playing. He's looking like he's getting into it. He's shooting at the head. Not a lot of reflexing and reacting to the shots, but maybe you have to hit it in the eyeball to get a reaction. I know that was one of the things I saw on the other gameplay footage I didn't analyse, was moments of this fight where it just seems like you shoot the boss and they really don't give a shit. And Resident Evil's always had that, guys, so we can't go saying it hasn't. It's one of the staples of the series, but I feel like as far as visual language for the player, having enemies react to what you do to them is very important. You do lose some of the tension, because I think we can all agree there's been a moment in a Resident Evil game where we've put every bullet we have in our inventory in a boss, and we have no idea how close the boss is to dying, and we're just hoping whatever we hit them with next is going to kill them. And there's always that, just one more bullet, just one more swing, just one more anything, and maybe we'll win, right? And that's a very cool situation to be in. It doesn't feel like it at the time, because at the time it's traumatic and stressful, and you're nervous, and you're scared, and you want to win. But afterwards it feels really, really worthwhile. So she's going to get ambushed again with the looks of this, because the room is incredibly smoky. Here we go. Same animation too. He seems to be pleading with her for something, but swaps to the knife because he's all out of ammunition except for the pistol, which will be interesting to see. So you can equip the knife then, that's cool. I'm really satisfied that you can, because if you couldn't, that would be strange, right? Resident Evil's all about knifing, especially if you want to do the crazy stuff like the advanced players do. What is... Oh, there we go, bosses getting all excited. Wow, bosses got real fast. Is he running right now, or is he just casually strolling? Because if not, please engage the sprint button, my friend. Ooh, that's Kosh. Whoa! So the screen tells you. Interesting. I didn't know that. I bet there's some people that aren't a fan of that. So now, instead of just watching your character and understanding you're getting fucked, the game tells you when your HP thresholds are changing. It puts it up on the screen. That's a really, really nice modern touch, but it will definitely take away some of the tension, because you obviously know now when you're getting wrecked. So just then, did you see that? Reticle, really tight, really close together. There wasn't too much bloom on it. You've gone in a dead end again, friend. Is he going to lose? Oh, he got knocked down. This is bad because his movement's going to be affected. Uh-oh. Here we go. So what is that? I don't understand this. So for some reason the gun is like getting super accurate on its reticle, and then when he has to use it, it's never that way at all. Is this going to be a kill? Did he just bring up the dev command then? That looked interesting. I think he fucked this up. Is he dead? He's really dead. Yeah. This is some serious abuse right now. What's with all the black? What's with the blinking? Are they censoring it in Japan so that you can't see women violence? That doesn't sound like the Japanese. You are dead. And that's the end of the demo, guys. So what did you think? A little bit more of RE2 Remake gameplay? I think it looks cool. I'm excited for this game. I'm interested to see how things work, because right now everything's just confusing. But it's nice to build hype and it's nice to get excited, so thank you for watching, and you take care now.